If you've understood the first 3 videos in the Solving Equations series, you'll find this equation straightforward. I'm going to write it out in a form that might be more familiar. So I'm going to evaluate tan 60 and write it out as an ordinary number. If you do this, however, it's important you write out the number in full. Don't round up your working out. But to save time in this video, I'm only going to write it out to 4 decimal places. And instead of writing out the unknown a for adjacent, I'm going to write it out as x, since this is again what you're more familiar with. So here we have an equation that is hopefully familiar. We have a fraction, and we know just how to deal with this. We multiply every term by the denominator. And so we can see this will simplify on the right, and a very small amount of simplification on the left, to leave us with this equation. Now we're not done, but it's certainly in a much more simple form. And now we're going to use the techniques we've learned in the previous video to solve this simple equation. Now step 1 is you have to decide what operation you want to carry out, and you may just be able to see exactly what you need to do. But just in case you don't, I'm going to demonstrate how we use the function machine. The unknown that we're trying to find is x, so this is what we feed into the function machine, and we ask ourselves what operation is it that we carry out on the x, and we can see here we're multiplying it by 1.73 and 2,1 there. So out of the function machine comes 1.7321 x. Now we look at what we've carried out, and in the box underneath we write out the inverse or opposite operation, which is divide by 1.7321. So the function machine has told us in step 1 what it is that we're actually going to do. You'll remember that having made the decision what we're going to do, we then do this to both sides. So we'll divide both sides. And step 3 is to simplify. And we can see we can evaluate this using our calculator. But just to remind you that in your working out you shouldn't round up, so this should be the full number that the calculator gave you, and hopefully you've been able to keep that in your calculator memory, so you haven't got to type it all out. And this gives us the answer x equals 2.89 to 2 decimal places. And just to be correct, because we changed our x, we changed to an x I should say, it's actually the adjacent side that's 2.89. But again, if this is just a right angled trig, it just tells you that the length of the unknown side you were trying to find is 2.89 in the units that the question gave you.